some reviews. Disney feature-length films, short cartoons. We bought VHS tapes, every title we could. Disney is our business, and business is good.
Welcome to Let's Get Down to Business with Kevin and Stephanie.
Oh my god. Welcome to... I almost said Disney is our business.
Yeah, stop doing that.
That's not our title. Welcome to Let's Get Down to Business, where Kevin's an idiot, and I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Kevin. I'm the talent here. She's the boring one.
I already introduced you.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah. I already introduced you.
You don't make me.
I made you a star, babe. Theater. Hi guys. We are already almost to the Disney Renaissance.
Oh, yay! Yeah, the only part people give a fuck about.
I don't know. There's some good ones in the beginning.
Well, I think so too, but I think that most people probably give a shit about the ones that we're coming up to within the next like 4 or 5 movies. Yeah,
that's true. But I don't know. Hopefully they'll go back and listen to some episodes about some gems.
Yeah.
Like,
Are we ever going to post our...
Pinocchio?
Well, I mean, fucking obviously.
Yeah.
But are we ever going to go back and post our rankings? Like, do we even do that periodically on Twitter or Instagram, like screenshots?
No, I did kind of think about, like, what if we had a short episode where we just kind of go over our list?
Yeah.
And, like talk about it.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a terrible idea. Yeah. Just for a primer or a refresher to kind of let people see where we're at and how fucking stupid we are.
We should do it right before we get into the Disney Renaissance, just to troll them hard. Like, oh, you thought this episode was going to be about Little Mermaid?
Where the fuck is the Lion King and Little Mermaid on your list? We haven't gotten there yet. And even after we get there, it's going to be in the fucking back.
Side note. I showed The Lion King to my students last week.
Why would you do that?
Not because I'm a terrible teacher and I just play movies all day.
That's part of it.
No. We're doing something with The Lion King, so it tied in. But I was watching it and I was like, oh shit, don't cry in front of these kids because...
Don't catch the feels.
Oh my god, it's so good. Ugh. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Can't wait till we talk about it. Yeah, but you don't know where it's going to be in my rankings.
I know exactly where it's going to be.
It's not going to be number 1, Kevin.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
With a fucking bullet.
No, it's not. You don't know that.
You guys, if you know anything about Stephanie, you know that The Lion King is going to be number 1 easily.
You mean the movie that I know the entire script by heart and all the songs, and I owned all the merchandise, and I even acted it out with my best friend.
Like, you're going to be heaping so much praise on it that our house is going to collapse.
I mean, our house is, it is what it is. Anyway.
It's a frugal fucking paradise. Absolutely.
If I had to sum you up in one sentence, it would be a frugal fucking paradise. Yeah.
How am I a paradise? Like, my body's a wonderland, but that's like...
Living with you is like a paradise, I guess.
Well, yeah, absolutely, because I'm gone 4 days a week.
It is.
So we pack a lot of good stuff into those other 3 days.
I was just thinking of crafting a Facebook status this morning that was like, everyone keeps asking me, or like saying to me, it must be hard living with your husband gone all the time. And I thought, we only own one TV and we have different tastes in what we like to watch. So it's kind of nice that you're gone.
Whatever. Yeah, so you can watch some bullshit all the time.
Some more YouTube videos.
Scroller box.
Sorry, I'm like fucking up your recommended suggestions.
Yeah, you need to stop doing that. Jesus Christ. This is not cool. Like, you're going to complain about my family fucking up your Netflix recommendation?
Your sister.
Well, your sister.
There's only so many recommendations of Kevin Hart movies that I can get, or fucking Madea. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Hey, you guys, we're a Disney podcast.
Yeah, we are. This is the weekly banter. We apologize.
I literally have banter on my outline.
Oh, my God.
We did it. Woo.
Ooh, yeah.
Check that off the list. All right. Next, it says short.
Hey, you guys, in case you didn't know, Donald Duck is in like every fucking Disney short.
Oh, my God.
Ever.
Oh,
but,
my God.
Fortunately, this was a good one. I know that's a spoiler alert.
Oh, good.
But
I was like, he's not going to like this one.
No, I thought it was really good.
This one is called Donald's Ostrich. It came out in 1937, so we're going to the way, way back.
Yeah. Which maybe it was why it was so good.
He was like before he was a complete shithead.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the third short in the Donald Duck series. It's about 9 minutes long, although the video we watched was like 8 minutes and 24 seconds.
Yeah. And I was going to say, when we were watching it, I thought, this is kind of long.
It did feel long.
Not in a bad way, like, because we usually bitch about pacing and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. Per Wikipedia, while Donald's Ostrich was the first and only time that Hortense the Ostrich appeared in animation, she later appeared in a comic book as Donald's pet.
As Donald's pet? That's not right.
That's not right. I know.
Like, how fucked up is that? I guess we've already had this conversation about Pluto. Like, when you have anthropomorphic
like Goofy's
animals.
a dog,
yeah.
but Pluto is also a dog.
Like, he's your fucking... I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that way. I mean, we'll talk about it during Great Mouse
I don't want to get all
Detective.
PETA on you guys, but...
We'll never be PETA. No, like with Great Mouse Detective where they have pet cats and pet dogs, but they're mice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll talk about it. Anyway, so this starts off where Donald is working and he's listening to the radio and he's kind of switching it around. So you see that there's all these different stations with all these different voices. And then he goes out to the platform where the train is coming in. And
the train.
He's not riding a train, he's riding a dolly.
Yeah.
He's like scooting around on a little
awesome.
dolly. I know. And he waits for the delivery. And he's delivered a whole bunch of packages, but there's one box in particular. And he tries to lift up the box, and the box has legs.
Yeah. So that's creepy.
So he can't seem to get the box to move. And out pops an ostrich, and she's just smooching all over Donald.
Yeah, and this is a very odd, turn of events in a Donald skit, because he is not the creepy, pervy one trying to hit on somebody else. He's actually getting a taste of his own medicine and getting harassed.
Well, and I don't know of anyone who loves Donald Duck as much as she does.
Yeah,
so.
This is a first, for sure.
Anyway, her name is Hortense. Hortense.
Super tense.
So tense. It's...
Not future tense, not past tense.
Hortense. The tag that's around her neck says that she needs to be fed and watered and that she will eat anything.
Yeah. And that bears itself out.
Okay. So she just pretty much follows Donald around because she just is doting on him. And she ends up getting hungry. So she starts finding things. So she finds an accordion and she eats the accordion. And then she swallows an alarm clock. And then there's balloons. And she swallows the balloons and they pop inside of her. And she doesn't really know where those sounds are coming from. Kind of like when our dog toots.
Yeah. What was that?
I know. She looks at her butt like, what was that? And then there is one particular balloon that she was deep throating pretty hard.
Yeah. It was elongated.
It was a long balloon.
Yeah. Like, is it canon that ostriches just eat anything? Like they're they're the goats of the bird family?
Possibly. I don't know. I mean, they can't fly, so there's already that.
But yeah, she is straight up deep throating anything in sight. Like Sophie said, with an accordion, with this long ass balloon.
Yeah, and Donald's trying to figure out now because
Donald sees this, he's like, well, fuck, maybe I've been going at this all wrong.
Well, she has the hiccups, and Donald is trying to figure out what to do about it. So he tries to scare her.
Is she a pet in the future comics or a sex slave? Nevertheless.
Kevin just
come on.
Always just ruins the moment. Anyway, he has some forceps.
Yeah, thank you.
That's what those are called, right? Those they're like.
I'm trying to think.
They're not like not like tongs.
But they were kind of tongs.
But I thought they were forceps.
Forceps are for separating.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't been on the exam table in a while. But yeah, he grabs tongs, I guess we're calling them, and he tries to pull things out of her throat. But she swallowed his radio.
Yeah.
So then there's radio announcements coming out of her mouth, and it makes her act out what's being played on the radio. So we get to the point where there's a
boxing match.
Yeah, boxing match. There's a
race.
Car race.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that, so yeah. So with the car race and the sounds of the racetrack, she's looping and running around the room, and eventually she crashes, and I think all the stuff just comes out of her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's that.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say.
That's it, yeah. Like, she has the hiccups, and Donald tries to, like, kind of cure her of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's why he's trying to pull the stuff out with the tongs.
Yeah.
But then he gets the hiccups, and then it just ends.
Yeah. But it was cute. It was funny.
It was
There's
funny.
some good gags going on, like everything that she swallowed, and like when she hiccuped, it was like an accordion sound, but then it would be like the bell on the alarm clock.
Yep.
So there's a lot of funny
Or the
stuff.
radio changing stations.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really funny stuff, slapsticky, cute stuff going on in this one, and I recommend it.
Yes, Donald's Ostrich. Check it out.
And I was really ready to be like, I'm so tired of shorts. Like, I'm so fucking sick of watching shorts. They're not funny. And then we got this one, so I'm glad this was a decent one.
Yeah, I'm not pumped about doing this, but we keep doing it, so. If I have to soldier through, you do too.
Kevin, get on that damn plane. See ya. Bye.
Hey there, podcast fans. I'm Cassie, and I'm the host of Disflicks and Tidbits, my solo movie podcast about Disney Company movies from the past, present, and coming soon, and all the little extras, movie news, and experiments on nostalgia in between. Come for the childhood memories, stay for the deep dive into your favorite movies. New episodes every Wednesday. Tune in to Disflicks and Tidbits. Subscribe for free everywhere podcasts are found.
The Great Mouse Detective was released the year before I was born.
Oh, man.
1986, y'all.
A simpler time.
Kevin? Come get smacked. How old were you? Like 3?
Yeah, I was 3 years old.
Okay. That's how much older. Kevin was robbing the cradle.
Oh, shit.
This is the 26th fully animated feature film. The budget, so...
It was a whopping $30 million less than the Black Cauldron. Because they learned their lesson, maybe.
Maybe. So this budget that I saw on Wikipedia said $14 million, but then I saw somewhere else that said $12.5 million.
Okay.
I mean, it's like,
But
whatever.
either way, it's dwarfing what the Black Cauldron cost.
Dwarfing?
Yeah, like it is significantly less.
Oh, I thought when you dwarf something, you're like taking over it.
Yeah, I guess you're correct.
I'm right?
Maybe.
I'm right?
I'm not going to concede the point yet, but we'll just say that it's possible.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on.
I'm right. There's 4 directors on this film.
Yeah.
Bernie, B-U-R-N-Y.
I've never seen that.
I know. Bernie Mattinson, David Michener, I'm going to guess that's how that's pronounced, John Musker, and Ron Clements. So I think there is like at some point David Michener wanted off the project, and like Bernie Mattinson just wanted to be the executive producer. And so we got down to John Musker and Ron Clements. So it's based on a book series called BAZ-ill
There you go.
of Baker Street by Eve Titus, which is based off of the Sherlock Holmes books.
Oh,
and I think I've read these books at some point when I was babysitting.
Okay.
I think one of the kids had one of those books. So Eve Titus got the name Basil from Basil Rathbone.
Yes, who played Sherlock Holmes in some of the old British Sherlock Holmes series.
And we know Basil Rathbone because he narrated the intro to Mr. Toad.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, and then he has like a clip in this movie from a pre-recorded like episode that if you listen, you can catch it. So this movie was going to be rated by the MPAA, Motion Picture Association, PG.
Yeah.
Disney was like, no, we want a G.
What's the big fucking deal? I mean, maybe back in the day.
They thought they would lose out on money if they rated it PG because then people wouldn't bring their kids.
That's so odd to me because nowadays, like you have something like, Deadpool
Oh my God.
probably like benefits from being an R.
Yeah.
Because, it's an out there fucking superhero movie.
Yeah,
and everybody wants to take their fucking small children to it.
Ratings don't mean shit anymore. Because, those superhero movies are events. So parents take their kids. And I hear about it at school. And then this was also released, The Great Mouse Detective was also released the same year as An American Tale.
Get wrecked, motherfucker.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Which one do you think is better?
We'll talk about that. All right. So production, the movie was being thrown around as an idea for an animated Sherlock Holmes movie around the time of The Rescuers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it fell apart because they felt like it would be too similar.
Which they were probably correct about.
Yeah. So during the Black Cauldron, As we know from the previous episodes, animators
went along swimmingly, made shitloads of money, was released on VHS immediately after it was out of theaters.
I love that that's the sticking point that you tell everyone.
It's fucked up.
You're like, dude, it wasn't released on VHS until like 19
That's like
years
16
later.
years.
Yeah.
Like, you would think, like, a company that's like Disney that wants to get that shit out immediately to make that money and to, like, wait that long?
Yeah.
That is egregious.
He's told like 3 people all weekend.
It's fucking impressive, you guys. That's the fact.
So, during Black Cauldron, animators weren't happy with what was happening with the developments. So some of them were like, hey, we're going to go start on BAZ-ill Baker Street while you guys finish up Cauldron. Initially, the budget for BAZ-ill Baker Street was $24 million, but Eisner greenlit it at half the cost. So actually at $10 million.
Yeah, that's significantly less.
And he wanted the release date moved from 1987 to 1986. So he's like, this movie needs to be made in a year.
Yeah, because I mean, if you want quality, you shave off time and money. That's how you make quality things.
These are definitely like big businessmen. Yeah.
But this is how we made all this money. Shut the fuck up.
Which again, we'll get into in the 90s because I sent Kevin an article about how shitty they are.
They're great.
Yeah. So to save on budget, this is the first Disney film to use computer animated assistants to cut the cost. So they weren't using like generated effects.
Yeah.
They were using it to help them animate. So we have animators Phil Nibelink, and
I'd say
Nibelink, and Tad Gilo. They spent months designing like the inside of Big Ben with all the cogs and gears and whatnot. And they made a wireframe on the computer, and that was traced onto animation cells.
Okay.
And then they did the whole process. They said what was nice about it is instead of tracking side to side or up and down, now you have a depth where you could like go in between the gears and like have this moving camera.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty sweet.
Michael Eisner, he also thought, aside from slashing budgets, he thought that BAZ-ill sounded too English, so he changed the name of the movie to The Great Mouse Detective, which the animators thought was so stupid that there was an inter-office memo making fun of it. So they were like changing all the titles to old movies, like Dumbo was like The Amazing Flying Elephant, or Cinderella was like The Girl with the See-Through Slippers. So yeah, I just think it's funny. I mean, what's work if you don't make fun of your higher-ups?
Yeah, I guess.
Something. Okay. You ready for The Great Mouse Detective?
Fuck yeah, let's get down to business.
But first, there's like 500 previews. So we want to talk about, like people want to talk about the Disney Dark Ages being the series of movies we're in right now, right?
Yeah.
I think the Dark Ages is whenever this VHS tape came out, which had to be mid-90s because we have previews for Belle's Tale of Friendship, Hercules, Zero to Hero, Doug's first movie.
Hey, don't hate.
Okay.
Doug as in like Nickelodeon.
My Favorite Martian, Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, and Winnie the Pooh, Seasons of Giving.
Holy fuck.
Holy fucking direct to VHS sequels.
Holy fuck direct like to VHS garbage.
Yeah. The Hercules one cracked me up.
Yeah.
It's like, meet Hercules when he was young. And then you see him as like scrawny and he's just a fucking dweeb. Yeah.
It just looks like shit.
I know,
They all look cheap as hell. Like, the gags look cheap. Like, it doesn't look funny.
I really hope Doug's first movie's on our list. I feel like that was in theaters.
I told you that, regardless of whether it's on our list or not, we are going to review that movie.
I feel
there are a couple of other ones that we're going to review as well. We're not going to spoil it for you guys already.
I feel like you need to be Roger Plotz for Halloween. Klotz, excuse me. Roger
Why?
Plotz.
You can't just, like, go in green face, okay? I'm not going to be that guy.
I just think you have the nose for it.
You're such a piece of shit.
What? You're adorable.
Whatever.
Roger was actually the hot guy, babe. Everybody actually liked Roger.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Let's set the scene. Paint the scene.
I guess.
London, 1897. This jumps right into it.
Yeah. Which, I mean, thank you, guys.
It's dark. There's, like, dogs barking. Was there dogs barking?
No, I don't think so.
There's, like, horses clomping. I don't know. You have, like, the sounds of being out in the street. We are in Mouse Geppetto's house. So we have this mouse guy. He builds toys, and he has a daughter. She's
So not
cute.
Geppetto, because he has a child.
He's very cute. She's very cute, I meant to say.
Yeah.
I mean, he's cute, too, because he's a mouse.
Good God.
Anyway, he's surprising her with a wind-up toy ballerina, which I have never seen a toy move like that before.
No, neither have I. It's like a flower, and you wind it up, and then the flower...
It like flows around and dances. So we know he's a very talented toy maker. Oh, also they have Scottish accents.
Yeah.
I feel like that's important to know. She wears like a beret. I don't know, probably a kilt.
Right.
She's playing with this toy. And then all of a sudden, they hear like a noise, and this scary thing just jumps through the window.
It is horrifying.
Yeah, because we don't see what it is.
You want to talk about them angling for a G rating instead of PG, and you fucking do some shit like this? You think this wouldn't scare the shit out of some kids?
Yeah. Yeah. So you never get to see who the villain is or who this monster is.
Well, you see his face when it pops through the window, but...
Oh, it was so quick, I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you still frame it, you can see that it's...
Olivia, the girl mouse, is hiding like in a cupboard as you just see silhouettes of the dad and this monster like fighting, and there's stuff getting thrown around everywhere. And then it gets dark inside the room, and when she comes out, she sees that her dad is gone. He's been kidnapped, and we jump right into happy music.
That's right.
It like goes quickly to the title, like the name of the movie. And the music is just like, let's go on an adventure.
Yeah.
So it was a really weird tone shift. It starts to be narrated by Dr. David Q. Dawson, who just came home from Afghanistan War.
Yes.
Okay. And he is a mouse too, because everybody's a mouse.
Because everybody's a mouse.
Everyone's a mouse. Even Rattigan, he's a mouse. You guys, don't call him otherwise. He's a mouse.
Spoiler.
So Olivia, first David Q. Mouse. Q Mouse? No, that's Timothy Q Mouse.
Just call him Dawson.
Dawson. You mean, Watson?
No, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about.
So Dawson gets off a bus.
Yes.
And it's kind of raining, and he's going by this building, and he hears someone crying, and it's Olivia, and she's sitting on a box of liver pills. Just thought that was funny. And she tells him that she's lost. She's trying to find the BAZ-ill of Baker Street. And he's like, well, I don't know any BAZ-ill, but I know where Baker Street is, so come on, I'll take you. Okay. So they arrive, and then we have, like, this plump female maid mouse who's supposed to be, like, the lady in Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And she says that BAZ-ill...
Come on, this is not hard.
No. BAZ-ill is not there, but they can come in, which I was like, that's very nice of you to let these people in someone else's house. And they see he has like this like chemistry set, this laboratory. And as they're admiring it, this Chinese mouse just storms right in.
Yeah.
This Chinese mouse. But surprise, it's actually just BAZ-ill.
Oh, shocking.
He is rambling about something. He thinks he's solved a case. And he stacks up a bunch of pillows and shoots them with a gun. And then he checks the bullet under a microscope.
Compares it with another bullet.
Yeah. I mean, we're learning about forensics in this movie. Yeah. Man. And they don't match, so then he's
crushed.
He just plays the violin and pouts, basically.
Give me those bullets again.
So Olivia's trying to tell him that her father was taken by a bat. To which BAZ-ill's like, a bat? Oh, that's probably Rattigan, the Napoleon of crime. I don't even get that joke.
Okay. He's a legend, pretty much.
I was like, ice cream?
Oh my God. No, Jesus Christ. The Neapolitan of crime.
Exactly.
Yes.
He's delicious. Everybody loves him. So BAZ-ill's gonna help her find her dad because Rattigan is involved. And we cut to where Rattigan's lair is, and he has her father, Mr. Flaversham, and he's having him make a robot, but we don't know what it's for yet.
Yeah.
Okay?
We can only assume nefarious things.
But Rattigan tells him that he needs to make this robot or we're going to go get your daughter and do something with her. And he's always ringing this little bell.
Yeah.
Okay. The bat comes in and he wants the bat to go get a checklist of things. They're planning for the Queen's Jubilee and, basically they decide they're celebrating Rattigan and how smart he is and how maniacal and wonderful he is. And there's champagne fountains and
drinks for everyone.
Yeah, a round of drinks. He has a harp solo. How badass is that?
Yeah, there are only like 2 songs in this movie, right? It's just this one and then one.
There's like 3.
Okay.
Well, one's not like a musical number, but there's a song.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's this whole song about Rattigan, which I actually knew because I watched a Disney sing-along tape that had this
I was wondering
song.
why you knew this.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen this movie once.
Well, obviously.
Maybe. Have you seen it?
I believe so, but it would have been a really long time ago.
It all looked familiar to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so they're singing Rattigan. And when they get to the part where they're like, the world's greatest criminal, and one of the guys is like, rat! And Rattigan doesn't like to be called a rat, you guys.
Really?
Even though he's like 5 times larger than all the other mice.
Doesn't matter. It's all about self-image.
That's true.
Don't tear me down, fucker. I'm one of you.
He dragged himself up by the bootstraps
That's right.
from those sewers,
That's
those
right.
rat sewers, to live amongst these mice.
He's not going to be torn down, you piece of shit. You drunk piece of shit. So he takes him out, freaking rings the bell, and we get to meet Felicia. Felicia is a fat-ass fucking cat. And she just, bounds up with her haters gonna hate walk, with her pushed-in face.
She has so many roles.
Oh my god, it's phenomenal.
Oh, I love it. And, that mouse gets killed.
Yeah.
Off screen.
Gets straight up eaten.
He's
They
swallowed.
make more use of the shadows, and you see her, see the mouse go into her fat ass gullet.
Yeah. And
Never to return.
All the mice in the background are like, so it's
There's a
pretty-
lizard there too, but
There
randomly.
was a lizard. He's the lizard from Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, don't mess with Rattigan. And don't call him a rat. Basically, that's it.
Or just take his bell away. I don't know.
Yeah, he really likes to ring that bell.
Yeah.
So now we are at Basil's, and he wants to go off and find Rattigan, but the bat is there trying to get Olivia. And right?
Well, no, it's when they search for the bat,
Yeah.
and he's going for the checklist of things. So he's got to go back to the toy shop where her father is from, Olivia's father, to get the uniforms off of the toys, some gears.
But they are still at Basil's deciding what to do, and he's like, "No children, you're not coming with us." But the bat was like sneaking around because he wanted to get her.
I guess that did happen.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and then they follow him
Yeah,
after that.
because when they leave to follow the bat, they kind of pan upstairs to where the humans live.
Yeah.
And there's a very familiar guy living there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're going up there so they can borrow his dog, Toby.
Does it rhyme with Furlock Bolmes?
The dog, Toby. Who is a basset hound.
Yes.
Oh, it's adorable.
Much more adorable than any real basset hounds because they fucking suck. But
Oh, Betsy.
Don't give me that.
She
Betsy was
so sweet.
terrible.
She did smell terrible.
she was not sweet. She was mean.
She was mean to you.
No.
She's nice to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
When she was eating whole fucking chickens off the counter, strings and all.
Oh, that dog was so bad.
I know.
Remember, she would get into the pantry and she wouldn't eat anything. She would
Yeah,
just
she just tear everything out and make a
But
mess.
she would chomp on bags of
Yeah.
bread or
Or
marshmallows.
sugar or flour.
She wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
She would just
Make a mess.
Make it so you couldn't eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dog was a dick.
Yeah, she was awful.
I loved her though. My brother loved her. That was his baby. So now we're at the toy shop. Toby brought them to the toy shop because he was hunting down the bat. And the bat is stealing all the uniforms off the soldier.
His name is Fidget, by the way. I
Toys.
feel like we should put that out there.
Oh yeah, Fidget the bat.
Yeah. And he has a hilarious voice.
Yeah. The trio is exploring the toy shop. The trio being
Olivia, Dawson, and Basil.
yeah. And there's a lot of creepy toys in there. A lot of there's weird dolls
Yeah.
and but then there's a Dumbo.
Yeah, just randomly.
There's a random Dumbo in there.
Generating bubbles.
Well, as they are searching around, the bat Fidget ends up kidnapping Olivia.
Because he's in a bassinet. Is it a bassinet? Is that what those are called? Or a cradle?
Cradle?
Yeah, and he's got a bonnet on and everything like that. And she takes the sheet away and he just snags her. I thought that was pretty great.
Puts her in a sack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he beats her with a bag of bricks or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, he puts her in a sack and beats her against the wall. That's totally awesome.
I love that you and I go to the same place.
Right.
Love.
Yeah.
There's this really great shot. So Olivia screams, obviously. And so BAZ-ill goes chasing after them. And Fidget is running up this like tower of blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And up top, I think is how he got in.
Yeah.
There's like a hole up there.
Yep.
And Basil's climbing after him. And you have this great perspective where the camera's pointing down and Basil's climbing up the blocks.
Yeah.
And it just looks really great. But yeah, so the bat ends up getting away because the tower falls on BAZ-ill and it collapses. And then he...
9/11.
Jesus
Shut
Christ.
up.
Never forget. Baby.
Come on.
No. As he meets back up again with Dawson has found the checklist.
Yeah.
Which said, like, uniforms, gears.
The girl.
And there's, like, one other thing that I can't think of. Yeah. So now we're back at Rattigan's because the bat brought Rattigan Olivia. And she gets to see her dad. Except that they put her in a giant bottle and cork it.
And they cork it. And they just leave her like that.
They did not drill any holes.
Yeah, apparently air is not a thing. Like, hey, fuck it. Should be all right.
Yeah. And Fidget tells Rattigan that BAZ-ill intervened, and Rattigan is not happy, so he rings the cat bell.
And he's about to be like, hi, Felicia.
And he ends up feeding Fidget to the cat, except that Fidget's putting up quite the fight and ends up getting free. And then
I would like to see a cat try and eat a bat.
Yeah.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah. But I like bats.
Yeah.
They're good.
I hear they're cool.
They eat mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So Rattigan ends up thinking like, oh, well, this is a great plan because then BAZ-ill's gonna come here and then I can finally finish him. Fidget, you're great. Like,
Felicia.
Yeah.
Release him.
So
And we should also mention at this point that Vincent Price is the one that is voicing Rattigan.
I don't know who Vincent Price is.
It's like a classic, legendary horror actor.
Did you actually know who he was before I was Googling?
Yes.
Okay.
I knew who Vincent Price was. Yeah.
He was so excited to be a Disney villain, especially when they started drawing Rattigan after him.
Yeah.
He just thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just want to note that
his voice is fucking great.
Our Lord and Savior Glenn Keane who animated Rattigan throughout this film.
Because originally he was supposed to be a much smaller character. Rattigan was like more like wafy and just kind of rat-like.
Yeah, but then like he ended up like designing him after Ron Miller, who was still employed by Disney at this time, and Ron Miller
was a former NFL lineman, so he's a huge like 6'6", a couple 100-pound guy.
Well, and I read too that Glenn Keane had looked through like old photos from like the Victorian era.
Yeah,
and there is like these guys with like glasses of like alcohol or like chewing on a cigar, and he just thought the idea of this like rat who's trying to be like upscale and classy,
high society,
chewing on a cigar, like he just like loved that idea. So
which was a good call.
Yeah,
I mean, thumbs up.
Yep, that's why they pay him the good money. So we have BAZ-ill who's analyzing this checklist, and he took it back to his lab and he's looking at the chemical composition that it has, I guess. He finds out that it's got seawater on it. I don't know how, but he does.
Because he ran it through the fucking Rube Goldberg machine.
So many Rube Goldberg machines in this movie. He noticed that it had like soot or coal dust on it. Yeah. So he's like, this came from the seedy part of town in a pub by the waterfront. Yeah. And so we get to go to a seedy pub by the waterfront. Okay.
In disguise.
They're wearing costumes. BAZ-ill is a sea captain.
With a sick-ass mustache. It's like a little pencil mustache.
And then,
he looks like Salvador Dali or something.
And then we have Dawson, who's wearing like Mr. Sneeze outfit.
Yeah, I know. Like with the small shirt and everything, so his belly's hanging out, and he's got the stupid-ass earring.
And we have BAZ-ill like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
There's a lot of smoking in this movie.
In the mid-'80s. That's pretty impressive. Shows you how far we've come, I guess. This
bar scene is why the Motion Picture Association was trying to give it a rated PG.
Yeah.
Because they felt like it was...
It's pretty risque, honestly.
Well, they felt like it was glorifying?
Yeah, I think so. Kind of,
drinking?
Yeah, drinking and like excesses, I guess you would say.
Yeah, because they were saying, like, Disney was like, well, we're not actually promoting drinking because the mouse that did drink ended up getting eaten by a cat. And so they were really playing this like, well, but, yeah.
See, your lawyers earned their money that day.
Yeah, because in this bar scene, there is like a cabaret with like a can-can dance with this mouse who I was like, why are all these dudes into this mouse? Because she looks kind of homely.
Right? They know what's coming.
Well, then she like takes off her clothes.
Yeah, she takes off her clothes.
And she has like a one piece.
Yeah.
She's like a one piece and she's doing the can-can.
Yeah.
And Disney was like, well, it's not risque because she's a mouse.
Cool. Yeah. Tell it to furries, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Gross. So BAZ-ill in disguise like asks the barmaid like, "Oh,
give me a couple of pints from a mate." And also, do you know Rattigan?
Yeah.
Do you know a Rattigan? Does that sound familiar? Ring any bells?
It's like a spit
don't ring
take.
the bell, obviously, but
It's like a spit take scene where everyone's like, and everyone goes silent. And she's like, "No, never heard of him." And so as the cabaret dance is going on, he's watching her pour the drinks, and she's putting something in it.
Yeah, and Dawson's not paying any attention because he's just eyes on the stage, totally into the show.
And he drinks the poisoned beer.
Yes.
As BAZ-ill is analyzing it, and he's like, "This has been poisoned.
Glug, 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 glug.
It's been drugged." Yeah. So
can I have yours?
Dawson's discombobulated, and he knocks into people, which starts a bar fight. And that's when BAZ-ill spots Fidget, and they go chasing after him, and they run, and they get back to, like, Rattigan's lair, and we see the bottle that Olivia's in, and she's, like, laying there, and it's like, oh, shit, she's dead.
Obviously she's dead because no oxygen.
Yeah, asphyxiation.
So shit.
But as they try
you guys ever seen that movie Buried? It's great.
Stop bringing up Buried. Nobody likes
what?
it.
Come on!
Nobody likes that damn movie.
Everybody, Ryan Reynolds is so hot right now. Like, literally and figuratively. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, is he? What has he done?
He's fucking Detective Pikachu.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ. He's fucking Deadpool. Like,
oh, yeah.
he was the fucking Green Lantern, for fuck's sake.
My students hate that movie so much.
The Green Lantern?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty popular to do so, and it's fair.
I liked it.
Yeah, that's...
I thought it was fun.
You and I need to go back and reevaluate that, because I think we are on the wrong side of history with that one. I think we were trying to kind of rage against the machine.
No, I thought it was
fuck
fun.
You all. We won't do what you tell us. We'll like bad movies occasionally. That's why we're watching all these. But
that's why we need to see Dumbo.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
And where were we? Okay, so Olivia's...
At Rattigan's lair, she's
Olivia's
not dead.
dead.
She's not dead.
No, she is dead.
And Basil's crushed. Credits, and I'm a fucking failure. Rattigan's the best.
Yeah. No, so Olivia turns over.
Yeah.
But it's not Olivia.
It's Fidget.
It's Fidget the Bat. Surprise!
Then they hit down a banner, mission accomplished, like... welcome, BAZ-ill. Like, this is a total trap from the get-go. Rattigan planned it all out, and he walked right into it.
I love that Rattigan's like, but you're 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Bro, I expected you earlier. I was overestimating your abilities.
You're off your game.
Step your game up.
So they capture BAZ-ill and Dawson, and they tie them up.
To a mousetrap.
To the best Rube Goldberg machine I've ever seen. So Rattigan's like, which device do I use to kill you? I've been plotting this all this time. So I decided all of them. So he has like an axe and a gun and a crossbow.
And an anvil.
So the way that this machine
And this
works,
mousetrap as well, because they're tied to
they are tied to a
the
mousetrap.
snap mousetrap. Mm-hmm. So when it gets triggered
by a record player,
it will smash their faces with the bar.
Yeah. So the record player is spinning, and as it gets to the end of the song, it's going to pull on a string, which drops a ball, which activates all of these devices.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
BAZ-ill's pretty humiliated.
Yeah.
Because
he's resigned to death. He's like, man, I've been outsmarted. Yeah. My fucking ego has been destroyed.
He really made BAZ-ill look like an idiot. So he's pretty much given up. And then
I've given up. That's pretty great. That sounded really bad.
Oh, that was a little pukey. So now we find out what Rattigan's been up to with the robot, because we head to Buckingham Palace. Apparently, okay, so they're going there for the Queen's Jubilee.
Yeah.
Apparently, the real Jubilee was going on in real life.
Okay.
When this movie came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's a Jubilee?
I think it's just a celebration. It's a really bad X-Men character from the 90s.
Yeah, what was her powers even?
Fireworks. I don't fucking know.
Anyway, they show like we're in the Queen's room, and a gift arrives, and at this point, all of Rattigan's men are wearing like the fake uniform, so she just lets them in. And she's all excited for this present, and they open it up.
It's her.
It's her. But
it's toy her.
It's an animatronic.
It's so weird.
Yeah. More convincing than the Donald Trump animatronic?
I don't know.
Does it have the hand gestures?
Yeah, this one didn't look like John Voight, so.
Anyway, they capture the Queen and take her to Rattigan as the animatronic goes out on stage to greet the people. The song, however, on the record player where Basil and Dawson are waiting to die.
Skipping.
Yeah.
So they're never going to die. They're fine.
So the song is starting to wind down, even though it skips a little bit. And eventually it gets to the end. And finally, right at the end, Basil's like, oh shit, I should probably do something about this. And he does math in his head, like, which I could never do. I'd be dead. He's like, the square root of the Pythagorean theorem.
He's just spouting a bunch of bullshit.
And he figures out that if he hits the trigger mechanism on the mousetrap,
at the exact point in time when the
ball drops.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, exactly. Happy New Year. We're not fucking dead. And everything works out.
So the ball like jammed up, and then everything triggered the wrong way, and they get loose, and they run to Buckingham Palace. At Buckingham Palace, we have the animatronic fake queen introducing Professor Rattigan as her royal consort. And he's just decided that he's going to start taxing everybody.
Yeah. He rolls out his list of, like, decrees.
Yeah.
He's going to tax the elderly, the poor, and also small children. Like, this dude is a man after my own heart. No,
he is a true Republican. Libertarian? Republican.
I don't know.
Either way.
Right.
So Fidget has the queen, and he's trying to feed her to the cat.
Yeah.
That's when Toby and Dawson and Basil show up to save the day. Anything you want to say about that?
Is there anything that I should say? I mean,
I didn't really...
Toby chases the cat off, and she ends up in the guard dog section of the palace. Like, she jumps over a fence, and she gives him, like, the shithead face, like, haha, fuck you. Like, I got away. You got nothing on me. And when she jumps to the other side, you see a bunch of fur flying and dogs barking.
And now she's dead.
Yeah, so hopefully she's fucking dead. But yeah, aside from that, they save the queen.
Yeah, because Basil takes over the animatronic, and it makes her explode. And then they capture...
They pretty much, they out Rattigan for what he is to everybody. He gets super pissed off, and... He
tries to escape with Olivia and Fidget on a dirigible. Mm-hmm. That's what you call him, right?
I believe so.
A blimp
yes.
dirigible? Yeah. And so this dirigible has like a pedal bike. So as you pedal it, it has the propeller works. And so they're flying away, and then I think... Did Basil have the toy maker, like, create a...
I think so, like a makeshift blimp.
Like a airplane or something?
Yeah.
So they're chasing after them. They're headed all the way up to Big Ben.
Which is a clock tower, you guys. It's a clock. Hey man, not everybody knows the world, babe. This is America. The education system is not very good right now.
Yeah, that's why I told him what a dirigible was in case
Exactly.
they had to look it up.
It's one of those things in like Australia, right?
Can you imagine if we just treated our audience like they're just morons all the time?
It works for politicians.
Sorry, you guys. Although I'm having a lot of fun with this. Anyway, so they head up to Big Ben, and they crash through, like, the face of the clock.
Yep.
And, well, I take that back. BAZ-ill jumps onto Rattigan's thing. Blimp.
And that crashes through the front of Big Ben.
Yeah. So now we're in there. It's Rattigan, BAZ-ill, and Olivia because Rattigan kicked Fidget off of his blimp. And the three of them are inside this clock where we have the
gears that Stephanie was talking about earlier.
Because it's not a computer animated scene.
But it looks different. It's definitely got a different feel than the rest of the movie.
And it's because the camera is panning through it, not side to side or up and down.
Yep.
And so the reason I'm not calling it computer animated is because they printed out the wire framework and then traced it.
Exactly.
So this wasn't animated on the computer.
But it's got like a really authentic looking feel to it, I guess.
There's something different about it, but it looks fantastic.
It does.
Oh my god. The way the camera moves through that scene is just awesome. We have Olivia who almost gets crushed between some gears. And Gears! And Rattigan's cape got caught, but he tears away from that. And then his body just like grows. Like, what's his face in that movie?
Yeah, he's done with the fucking formalities. Like, I'm a fucking rat, and I'm gonna crush you, BAZ-ill. You've embarrassed me, bro. Let's go.
Split, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
When James McAvoy's character turned into the Beast. Yeah. That's what it reminded me.
The Beast.
So, like, Rattigan is, like, very ratty looking now, like the rat.
Nice adjective, babe.
Thanks, babe.
You really had to search for that one.
Thanks. He looks like the rat now from Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
So he just looks really fucking evil.
Menacing.
Yeah.
I think is a good word.
And so he and BAZ-ill are kind of fighting, and they end up on the clock hands on Big Ben. And how does this all transpire?
What do you mean?
Transpire?
Yeah, transpire. Like the airship is right by them.
Because he hands...
And the father is trying to get a hold of Olivia's hand. They're reaching out for each other.
Yeah.
While Rattigan and BAZ-ill are on the clock hands and they're fighting, the clock strikes. And that throws Rattigan and BAZ-ill off the clock hands. Mm-hmm. Olivia gets grabbed. They're fine. And BAZ-ill is hanging on to the remnants of the dirigible. And Rattigan is hanging onto his legs.
Yeah.
So, I can't remember exactly how it falls off, but it does off of Big Ben. So you're thinking they're both falling to their death, and BAZ-ill's holding on to a piece of the dirigible that was the propeller. The propeller, yeah. So Rattigan falls to his death, we are led to believe. And
he's not surviving that.
And BAZ-ill comes up through the clouds pedaling the bike. The
propeller.
Yeah. So he's fine.
Yeah. And, they save the day, and they go back to the house on Baker Street.
And I haven't done that fucking musical effect once yet.
What? Oh, Baker Street.
That is amazing restraint on my part.
You know, I only know the Foo Fighter version of that song.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
I know.
So they're back at Baker Street, and you can tell, like... BAZ-ill really wants Dawson to stick around, but he doesn't want to come out and say it.
Exactly.
But then a damsel in distress shows up at their front door.
With
and
a
he's
case.
like, me and my associate here, Dawson.
If you would have me.
Yeah. And then they have a bromance.
Yeah.
And on to the next case.
Yeah, that's it.
The end.
Yeah. Question mark?
Any questions?
Any questions? I'm my own thing.
Hi, Bobby.
So the reception and the legacy of the Great Mouse Detective. This movie did $50 million fucking dollars during its initial release.
Yeah, not lifetime.
4 times the budget.
But
it would have been 2 times the budget. Jeff Katzenberg, even if he is...
Even still, American Tail was released that year.
Yeah.
American Tail beat it that year by 22 million.
Oh, see, I had read that incorrectly. I thought it was saying that it beat An American Tail by 22. And I was going to say, what the fuck is wrong with people? Because not that I was going to talk any shit about this movie, but like An American Tail is, I haven't seen it in a long time.
You need to go back and watch it.
I guarantee it's probably still fucking Head and Shoulders, babe. I guarantee you.
When we get down to Bluethness.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's coming, motherfuckers, just so you know.
Let's get down to Bluethness. Do you think Seth will...
Do some review. Fuck yeah! Seth, we're calling you out, brother. We need your help.
We'll pay you to rewrite our lyrics.
We'll pay you handsomely.
Due to the profit of this movie, even though it wasn't like a blockbuster, like it wasn't huge, Katzenberg, who was the chair, co-chair, whatever, of animation division, he decided that it was still viable enough to release one animated film per year. Which
is pretty stark, considering this is a guy that wanted to completely, destroy the animation division entirely.
Yeah. The other good thing that came out from this movie is that it brought together Musker and Clements as co-directors who are going to go on to do amazing things.
Really? You don't say. It's a little foreshadowing.
Our critics, let's start with...
Can they kiss our ass?
Let's start with Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert.
Gene Siskel enthusiastically praised the film as the quote-unquote truly memorable animated feature in 25 years that travels a wide emotional range, taking us from cuddly to scary, from recognition to wonder.
Roger Ebert gave the film 3 stars out of 4, in which he praised the film's animation and compared the film to that of Disney's Golden Age. He summarized that, quote, "The result is a movie like The Great Mouse Detective, which looks more fully animated than anything in some 30 years, end quote."
Yeah, and on their show, of course, judging by that, Siskel and Ebert gave it 2 thumbs up.
Yeah. And so I would like to say to that, they did not like An American Tail.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't like it. They felt that it was trying to be very Jewish without coming out and saying it was Jewish. Like they were trying to brush it under the rug.
Okay.
But they had some other issues with the way the movie was itself. Okay. So it's just funny that like American Tail made more money.
Yeah.
But as far as critics go, this was the better movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
The New York Times film reviewer Nina Darnton applauded that the heroes are appealing, the villains have that special Disney flair, humorous blackguards who really enjoy being evil, and the script is witty and not overly sentimental.
Johanna Steinmetz of the Chicago Tribune graded the film 3.5 stars out of 4, writing, "This movie is cute, but is a higher grade of Disney cute than The Rescuers and The Fox and the Hound. The key to good Disney animation is character and facial expression, and detective abounds in both."
Yeah. So I was reading earlier from Tor.com, because I like to read a lot of different reviews, and they actually had said that like this is some of the worst animation in a Disney movie that had come out in a while.
Really?
And I was like, really? Yeah. I put a note on here for Common Sense Media.
Yeah.
I just want to read you some of those because I love reading Common Sense Media. Common Sense Media, for those who don't know, is a site
and
where...
you shouldn't know because it's awful.
Yeah. It's like where like super conservative parents go to write movie reviews for each other and warn you about movies for your kids.
This is what the MPAA is made for.
Basically. Let me find... Let's see. Okay. This mom says, "While I appreciate the clever nods to Sherlock Holmes, the movie was more violent and scary than my family and I expected. A mouse character is executed, fed to a vicious cat, by the villain, and while you don't see the act of death, it's obvious. Another character is close to death, and generally the villains are far scarier in terms of big teeth and claws. Also, there's significant peril, and the little girl getting kidnapped with a violent Rube Goldberg-style killing trap for the heroes. Sexuality-wise, I was quite thrown by a seedy bar scene in which a sexy cabaret girl actually sings that she'll take all her clothes off. That's the point where we quickly jumped forward a bit in the movie. Not worth the post-processing with kids."
Jesus Christ.
Talk to your fucking kids!
It's not hard.
They're literally saying they don't want to talk to their kids about this. Oh my god.
Save that for somebody else.
There was a lot of them where it was like, my kid was so frightened There's one in particular. This one says that they rented it from the library and it was so scary. My son complained of the bat face being stuck in his head and had trouble going to bed. The next day, my son said he was going to tell that librarian that movie should be rated PG-13. I'm sure that librarian was like,
God,
great.
Go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ. If you want to read about some sheltered ass kids, go to commonsensemedia.org. Anyway, that was a sidetrack. Kevin.
Hey.
You're first.
Am I?
You're first this week.
Okay. The Great Mouse Detective. Overall.
You mean the BAZ-ill of Baker Street?
Yes. Yes. Overall, I liked it, but I don't think it resonated with me.
God damn it.
Quite as much as... Really? Really? You fucking bastard.
Go.
Well, I'm stealing your thunder. Fuck you. I do what I want. It didn't quite resonate with me quite as much as Mr. Siskel and Ebert said, or even some of the other reviewers or friends and family that we talked to about this. The animation, I didn't really have a problem with, because, you know, if I like something like The Rescuers, I think the animation here was probably a little bit better, but the characters were the problem for me here. I didn't think that Olivia was enough of a presence, I guess. She seemed very paint by numbers. She wasn't very active overall. Same with her father. I thought that the villains were good in a fun kind of way. I thought Rattigan was a great villain. Vincent Price, I mean, I would say is easily the best part of this movie. His performance is great. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, overall, it was a kind of a quick in and out movie. As far, like, if it's going to be a nod to Sherlock Holmes, there wasn't a lot of detective work to go on here. Like, you had a couple of scenes where it was like, you know, when he first met Dawson was one of them, and kinda when they were trying to track down the bat. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it was a lot more Rube Goldberg type of stuff, or like, or science. Types of things that figure these things out, rather than, you know, working through the problems like when you actually watch like the BBC Sherlock Holmes. And obviously you're not going to get that with a children's movie, and I understand that, but just overall it didn't really hit me or resonate with me. The Queen stuff I thought was kind of anticlimactic, even though it was funny because of Rattigan. And while the clock tower scene was very cool, it was kind of jarring with the way that it looked compared to the rest of the movie. And then with Rattigan, you know, just kind of went out like a punk. And you know how I never really liked that a lot, but yeah, I don't know. It just,
yeah,
it didn't hit me as hard as I hoped that it would. I liked, BAZ-ill as a character, but it just, I don't know. It's kind of a half measure, I guess.
Yeah. The word that stuck with me when thinking about how to review this was safe.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a very safe movie, even though we're starting to get into darker elements with characters being killed off, like off screen, or the villain being a little more maniacal, I guess.
Yeah.
It just felt safe. It was a very, like everyone knows the Sherlock story. Even then, like, there's a Sherlock TV series. There was Young Sherlock, the movie in 1985. So it just felt like this is a nice, safe story. It's a detective story. A little bit noir, just like classic things.
But not enough noir.
But not enough.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was very safe. We know, Mice do really well. I'm sure, Nim had come out.
Yep.
So I think they're also trying to echo some things that Don Bluth is doing as well. So I really, when you say nothing resonated with you, same, basically.
Yeah.
Because,
God damn it.
I know!
You thought you were going to get me, Stephanie.
Damn it. No, I just don't emotionally connect with this movie.
There's not a lot to emotionally connect
do
with.
Remember I have had seen it as a child. Maybe not even being that young, but I know I've seen it before.
Yep.
The things that it does have going for it, like it said, it's going to bring together two of these directors that are really going to make their mark on Disney. Using the CG well, not necessarily CG, but the computer
But the technology.
to assist. I think some of the animation shots look really great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the art looks as bad as like the lady that reviewed on Tor.com was saying. It didn't look as grand and amazing as I know, like Beauty and the Beast or Little Mermaid or even Rescuers Down Under is going to look.
Yeah.
But I don't think this was like a Sword in the Stone bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I was really hoping that this would like easily go in my top 10.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be middle of the road. And it's not a bad movie.
Not
it
at
just
all.
doesn't stick out.
I want to definitely like put that to bed
Like,
right away. Like it's not a bad movie.
I
guys.
always joke about like Bug's Life being Pixar's best forgettable movie.
Yeah.
I think Great Mouse Detective is Disney's best forgettable movie.
Yeah.
Even more so than Rescuers. Because I think Rescuers is better.
I do too. That was going to be my hot take.
You can still hot take it up, babe.
Right.
I'm gonna put this... Yeesh.
Yeah, right?
Because it's hard because this isn't a bad movie. But I have this clump of like Jungle Book, Sword in the Stone, Fox and the Hound, and I feel like it goes somewhere in there, which feels really low because Jungle Book is 18, followed by Sword in the Stone, followed by Fox and the Hound at 20.
Holy cow. That's down there, babe.
I know. And it's like this movie isn't that bad, but like it's very forgettable.
Yeah.
So, because Jungle Book has some catchy songs. As much as I don't like Jungle Book, it's a little more memorable. Would I rather watch Fox and the Hound or would I rather watch this? Yeah, I'm going to put it behind, it's low, but I'm going to put it behind Fox and the Hound. I'd rather watch Fox and the Hound.
Okay. Wow. That's impressive.
Well, I think as far as like childhood movies go too, Fox and the Hound sticks with me more.
Okay.
Well, no.
Come on. Think about it. Think it through. It's fine.
Well, The Great Mouse Detective has some really great animation scenes. I mean, Glenn Keane doing Rattigan. Rattigan is so great.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck. All right. I'm gonna...
Do you want me to go first?
No.
While you think this through? Because I know where I'm going to put it. It's pretty easy for
All right,
me.
go ahead.
Okay. I am going to say that it is not as good as Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
I would say that Prince John is about on par with Rattigan. Maybe Rattigan's a little bit better, but the rest of Robin Hood, animation aside, I think is better.
Yeah.
The characters have a lot better chemistry in that. It moves, pretty quickly, I think. And yeah, I would say that I like Robin Hood just a little bit better than this. So I would put it at number 14 between Robin Hood and Pete's Dragon, and just below Ichabod and Toad.
Okay. I think I'm going to put it behind Dumbo. Because Dumbo is 17 and put it ahead of Jungle Book.
And that's what I was thinking too. I think the Jungle Book and the Fox and the Hound are like the
It's a weird...
that's the line. That's your equator right there.
Yeah.
Because that's when you start getting to the shit like Sword in the Stone, the Aristocats,
Yeah, because I don't really...
and the package films.
like Jungle Book.
No.
And again, it's not that I don't like this movie, it just doesn't stand out to me.
No.
But if we're gonna compare it to like Golden Age Dumbo...
Well, and that's what I'm saying, because if I was to rank this higher, like you could definitely make an argument for it being better than Ichabod and Toad. That's fine. You can be wrong. But if you start looking past that and you wanted to rank it higher, you're ranking it ahead of fucking Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Bambi, Peter Pan, literally all the classics and the Rescuers. So, I mean, obviously we like the Rescuers probably much more than some others, and maybe Mary Poppins as well. But like I can't in good conscience put it above those movies.
Yeah. Well, and when Siskel and Ebert were talking about like, oh, this is just taking us back to the Golden Age.
Exactly.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
And especially if they hit it in American Tail as well. I can't wait to watch that again whenever we do that. Just to see how I feel.
I tried to watch it one day because it's on Netflix, and I got like 5 minutes in and was like, nope, I'm bored.
God damn it. You are ridiculous.
Yeah. Is that ADHD?
Yeah, it is.
Well, yeah. So, just to recap, not a terrible movie.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's worthwhile for Rattigan alone.
Yeah. And the, like I said, some of the animation perspective, camera perspective scenes going on, definitely worth if you're into that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was certainly impressed with it, but I just don't think it holds up with some movies that maybe the animation isn't as great, but maybe I connect with characters better, or I just remember it more.
And that was the biggest thing, I think, comparing it to The Rescuers, is that The Rescuers had better characters overall, even if the villain in this might be stronger.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, thanks, babe, for discussing that with me. Yeah. Our next episode is a special episode.
Is it?
And we're not going to tell you.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
It's going to be a surprise. I don't know why it's such a big deal, but Kevin is really excited to keep it a surprise.
Yes, I am.
But after the surprise, the movie after that is Who Named Roger Rabbit?
Who framed Roger Rabbit? Who named Roger Rabbit? Roger Rabbit was his mother.
Did I type Who Named Roger Rabbit? I actually typed that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, so next episode is a special episode. It'll be a short one. But after that, we'll be back to our regular programmed schedule.
Disney bullshit.
Yeah. You're going to call Who Framed Roger Rabbit Disney bullshit?
I guess, yeah. It's got to be lumped in.
You guys, thank you for the nice comments that you have been leaving us on the Twitters and the iTunes and
it's the fuel that keeps us going.
No, if you really
otherwise I'm just gonna hang myself.
If you really want to keep us going, you just tell Kevin he's a piece of shit. He likes to rise to the occasion. So if you haven't subscribed, rate, and review, tell all your friends and acquaintances and coworkers and enemies.
And frenemies.
And frenemies.
Disney has a business and business is good!
Holy shit. Warn me next time.
See you later.
Bye. Disney is a business, and business is good.